Hello everyone, this is your host Chinna Pijaga or Sarcastic CJ and welcome back to Curious Contrarians. Today we'll discuss about a book released. It's an author's edition podcast today. A book released by a fellow friend of mine, a chess buddy, Jupinderjit Singh, which is Who Killed Moosewala. That's the fame, it's a sprawling story of violence in Punjab. See, it's in the fame now. And it's a great book. I read it. It has a lot of factual data and all, which I like myself a lot. And, well, I had a pleasure to meet him at his own house. And we spent a lot of time together. And well, here's the video. Hello, Mr. Jupinderjit. How are you doing today?
Thank you, Chinmay. I'm feeling very excited to talk to a young YouTube interviewer like you.
Welcome to Curious Contrarian, a special authors podcast today. Today we are looking towards the release of the new book, Who Killed Moosewala. I'm definitely not doing this for views. Let's get into the questioning I had regarding. I had some queries regarding the book, and also my friends had also formed some queries, especially for you. So, starting with what really inspired you to write such a book?
Well, Moosewala, as you know, was a very famous Punjabi rap singer, and he was killed on 29th of May 2022 by six shooters, and he was hardly 28. And to be killed at such a young age and by a group of gangsters, shooters, and so that really shook my heart. And I'm a special correspondent with the Tribune, and I cover crime. So I was covering that incident, and it was very heartbreaking for me. Moosewala had his own controversies and other stuffs, but he did not deserve to die like that. So I wanted to know his story, and I wanted to tell his story. So that's why I wrote this book.
Well, I am actually really a big advocate of free speech, and I really want that certain facts and knowledge should be spread out like it is spread out in the book. So, just a second, let me wear my nerd glasses for this question. So, I am a student of philosophy, as a lot of my viewers might know that, and we really have a problem while looking at a lot of research papers. We call it the confirmation bias fallacy. So, being a reporter yourself and being looking at such a topic, how do you reduce that confirmation bias from the certain evidences you get? So confirmation bias is basically which supports what your ideology thinks. So how do you reduce that? It is actually a really big problem for me, who I look at a lot of research papers.
Well, I'm impressed that you have asked this question at such a young age. And, reducing bias, fighting bias is what journalism is all about. And at the heart of every true journalist is to tell story of common persons and stand for common persons. And if and for that you have to be unbiased. It is a very very challenging thing because you have your personal likes and dislikes also. So you have to do a lot of you have to be careful about it, what you write and what if you're a TV journalist, what you speak. I mean, it's a very very thin line you have to walk on that. And so one of the basic thing is to that you remain objective. That is the main thing, like a satellite, it is part of us, but still it is far away and looking at Earth from there. So journalist is like that.
Right, certainly. I would really love to be experienced in such a way to use to reduce bias in my studies as well. So this is actually a question by some of my friends. They really wanted to know this. So they like are very factual and they want to write books themselves. So how can you write actually some such a non-fictional, factual and let's say unbiased book?
Uh, Well, my experience as a journalist has helped me a lot because writing is my job now, and I'm writing daily. Sometime I have to write 2,000, 3,000 words daily, different stories. At times, when you are starting your career, you have to, do at least 15, 16 stories, including sports and press note and so many things. So slowly you get into this practice mode, into the writing mode. But for writing a book, it's a different game altogether. So the first and foremost thing is that you must have read a lot. And by reading a lot, I would say that there are some themes which you would like to read. Like I read crime stories a lot, and I read other stuff also. I read history a lot. I of course I read romantic stories also, romantic books also. So you should read whenever you get the chance and whatever you can read, and slowly you will have that what you like. So in the same way, if you will start, you will read what you like, and then you will write also what you like. This will happen naturally. There is no kind of rote learning here. It will happen naturally. And when you will come down to writing a book, then for that specific period, and this is just one factor of writing, for that specific period, you must read only that genre which you are writing. So like when I was writing Who Killed Moosewala, like for Moosewala book, I read crime stories for almost 8 months, and one of the foremost book was about the killing of American rap singer Tupac Shakur, because for one that he was Moosewala's idol, he was a similar rap singer, and he was killed in the same way. Then that book was also written by a woman journalist. So that helped me into moving from the platform of a journalist to a writer. Then you have to so much of research is needed. So for research, first thing is that, like for instance in Moosewala case, so much is available online, but how much of it is a fact and how much of it is a not. So then you need to talk to people, and then you have to corroborate the claims and counter
You need
claims.
to be skeptic about it.
Yeah. I mean, you cannot take, a journalist cannot afford to take anything on face value. You have to go deeper and search and research. So there have been some claims, there have been counter claims, like in a crime, such a major crime, there is something which people say that no, this is how it happened. Then the police will say, no, it did not happen that way, it happened the other way. Then the victim family will say something else, witness will say something else. So there are a number of things, and then you have to decide that how you present that story, like you said, in an unbiased way. And this special story had to be legally correct, as per the circumstances of today. It's just 1 year since his murder. So that is a part. Then for writing you need a kind of a schedule also. It will sometimes, like when you are writing fiction, then writing will happen when your imagination is working. But when you are writing a non-fiction book, then you will have a schedule on that. You will read, you will quote people, you will you will have a deadline also to meet and all that. So normally in fiction, like you have time and you can explore, but here no question will be asked that this is not possible. There is a scope for a lot of poetic imagination, but not in a non-fiction book. So sticking to facts is like hugely important.
Yes, sir, that's what you heard. It stick to facts, not to faith. A really big quote, which I usually give in my videos. So, as a conclusion, like I give to the answer, could you give a conclusion to this episode or the book you would like to give it?
Yeah, yes. I'm then, like I said, I'm very thrilled that youngsters like you is, asking me such intelligent questions, and your friends also. They also deserve a lot of compliments because you all grow as a group, and you teach each other, you learn from each other, and my compliments to your school also, especially who is having this kind of education environment where you are going into book reading and writing and you're curious about things. So that's amazing. And of course to your family also. For conclusion, I would like to stress that youth in Punjab especially need to return to reading and writing. That is very important because unfortunately just because of few percentage of youths, the image is that Punjabi youths are after drugs and they are into following the gang culture, the gun culture. They are influenced by gangsters. So which is very wrong. It is a minuscule percentage, and this percentage is in every community and in every state. So I would like that we have more and more students who are into reading and writing, or in any other art form, or in sports, or anywhere where they develop to make our society better. Thank you.
Thank you so much for watching Curious Contrarian Author's Edition. Go buy your Who Killed Moosewala book right now, link in the description below, and stay curious and keep questioning. This was your host Chinmay P. Jagga, or Sarcastic CJ.
Cool CJ 1410, cool CJ 1410, cool CJ.